Hey guys, how's everybody doing out there? I hope you're all staying healthy, seriously. Sometimes. Alright, well, I want to keep this light. I know everybody's saying, like, don't run out there and buy all the toilet paper, all the masks, all the, paper towels and stuff like that. Don't hoard. I don't know about you guys, but I have been panic buying rap records online. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. And so we're going to talk about one today. This video, though, we're not going to get serious. We're not going to bum you out. This is one I've actually had in my hip pocket for a little while. When I want to hit you guys up with a fun video, I figured this would be a good one. So now's the time. This video, if you've seen from the title, is Nightmare on Elm Street Raps Part 8. Yes, unbelievably, this video series just keeps going and going. But to really talk about this record that we're going to talk about, we have to talk about another one. And now, I swear, right before I sat down in front of this camera to record, I checked online and I've already forgotten. The video I'm referencing, I think, is Nightmare Rap Part 3, where I talked about this record, MC ADE, Nightmare on ADE Street. MC ADE is a classic bass artist, Miami, Florida. He's done a lot of dope records, a few before, mostly since. Although his earlier stuff tends to be the best. I've already done a video about the song, so I'm not going to delve into all the details on this record, but just a quick rehash to catch us up to date. Like I said, go back and watch what I believe to be Part 3. This is ostensibly a battle record between Freddy Krueger, because that's what all these Nightmare Raps are, records that actually feature Freddy Krueger rapping. That's what Part 8 is going to be about too. We're going to get Freddy Krueger on the mic. But on this one, so Freddy Krueger comes to town, in this case, Miami, and he wants to take over the scene, and that means he's got to battle MC ADE and his DJ Eddie B. It's a battle record, and they kind of go back and forth, and obviously MC ADE is doing both voices, and so he uses his standard vocoder thing, which is what he did in almost all his early records back then, when he's himself, and then when he's Freddy Krueger, he's just sort of using a deep, gravelly voice, Freddy Krueger-ish, and so they kind of go back and forth dissing each other. And anyway, so that's that record, or this record. But at the end of the record, Freddy Krueger goes, you haven't seen the last of me, ha 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 ha. And little did we know, little did even ADE know how true that was, because here we go. This is a first in this series. This is an answer record, and still yet another Freddy Krueger rap record. Another one from Florida, because this is an answer to MC ADE. It's a local response called That Was Nightmare on ADE Street. This is Nightmare on Freddy Street, and it's by Stevie B. Also 1987, which again, like I said in many of the other videos, puts it before the most famous records, before Jazzy Jeff, before the Fat Boys did their records. All the indie artists were doing it first. So before them, and almost all the same year, almost all these other guys, Crushing MCs, Triple Scoop, Rock G, they're all from 1987. But this one obviously had to follow right on the heels of ADE because it's a response. Now you might be thinking, Stevie B, who's that? I never heard of him. The only Stevie B I know is that, high-pitched kind of R&B cat who did that Because I Love You song. Well, guess what? It's the same Stevie B. And yes, I'm sure of it, because first of all, Stevie B was from Florida. This record, Midtown Records, this is a label that he put out some of his earliest stuff on before he got signed to a major label. And if you know Stevie B, he did those kind of very airy, light, soft R&B songs, which weren't really my thing. But he also did more kind of freestyle stuff, which I liked more. Especially his earlier stuff, which tended to lean a little bit more into hip-hop. Like Pump Up the Body, Pump Up the Party, Pump Your Body. He has a lot of similarly titled songs. What are you going to do? And like I said, including a couple of records are on the same label. So there's no question this is the same Stevie B. But this is the only time he raps. Because yes, sometimes we did freestyle records, which even were very hip-hop and Miami-based, somewhat influence in style. So you could even call them hip-hop records, but he's not actually rapping on them. Either he's singing on them in a freestyle song, or they're just kind of shouting calls, choruses, and instrumental, and there is no rapping. I guess in the 90s, he did do one or two of those songs where he'd do like a really brief, like a 2-bar rap right in the middle of, an otherwise all-song record, sort of in the same way that like Ralph Tresvant would do or Bobby Brown would do. So I guess technically he has rapped, but really this is his only rap song where he's rapping all the way through it. And honestly, the only reason he's doing it is because he's in character. He is rapping as Freddy Krueger. And in fact, he sounds very much, intentionally, obviously so. I'm not trying to imply it's derivative. The whole point is to sound very much like the Freddy Krueger on the MC ADE song. Because this, again, is a direct response to Nightmare on ADE Street, Nightmare on Freddy Street. The theme of this song, the premise of this song, is that Freddy Krueger has heard Nightmare on ADE Street and is, ired by it. He's pissed off. So he's coming now to diss MC ADE and say that record is fake. Here's the real one. And he disses MC ADE, which is kind of interesting because dissing ADE is what he was already doing on Nightmare on ADE Street. So it sounds like more of the same. And it especially sounds like more of the same because they're using the exact same instrumental. The only difference is this one has new scratches at the end. DJ Eddie B, of course, did scratches on ADE. And there's a guy named TLOB. I don't really know him. Maybe he worked on a couple other Stevie B stuff as a producer or something. I don't know, the Lord of Bass, maybe? I have no idea. I don't know who he is. But he does some pretty nice scratches here, actually. They mostly come in at the end, but they sound pretty dope. Otherwise, though, this isn't just like in the style of ADE's record. It is the same instrumental, the same keyboard riffs, the same bass, the same drums, boom, boom, boom. It is over ADE's instrumental. So, musically, it's not innovation. It's just purely for fun, really. And it is fun. So now, in 1987, as you can imagine, the disses don't get too particularly vicious. And also, it's probably meant all in fun. This is R&B singer Stevie B. I don't know if he has any real beef against MC ADE. Maybe he does. I don't know. But there doesn't seem to be anything really specific or personal in the disses, except... it is kind of, especially again for 1987, like he does call him a fat piece of shit and stuff like that in this song. And again, I think it's sort of meant to be humorous. It's Freddy Krueger saying it and all, and he's saying, I'll kill your wife, I'll kill your family, I'll kill everybody, I'll kill your mom and dad. So it's meant to be a humorous record for sure. But also those, some of those lines are kind of fighting words. Like you wouldn't hear that in Kid versus Play. You wouldn't hear that in, the Sugar Hill Gang meets the Furious Five, it is a little bit more of a straight diss. Like I could see MC ADE being a little perturbed, but seriously, this is not what I would call a genuine diss record. I mean, yeah, okay, he's dissing ADE, but it's all very simplistic light raps, and it's all very similar, not just in the voice and the instrumental, although yes, as I've said, those are basically the same. The instrumental is the same and the voice is very similar. But even lyrically, like the way he kind of takes apart ADE's name and says what each letter stands for and all, it's just like the lyrics you heard on Nightmare on MC ADE Street. Those are different lyrics, but they're very similar. There are a couple versions on here. There are two vocal versions, the radio and the XXX version. Although, interestingly, the radio version has a bunch of curses in it, so neither is radio friendly. But I guess the XXX version has a little bit more. Again, 1987, so don't think XXX is going to be like a crazy, shocking record. But, he does say rhymes like you're a fat piece of shit. So that's the extensiveness of the viciousness and the curses on here. Though there are a bunch of instances of that. Then there's also a dub version, which features a few vocal points, but mostly instrumental. There's really not a strong difference between either of the vocal versions. Like I said, there's cursing in both and all. Mostly the verses are all the same. So I'm just going to play one version of the song. But again, it's a lot of fun. And you know what? Maybe I will play a little bit of MC ADE first, just so you can hear it and get in the tone. It's interesting, but like they even use like the opening to ADE's version where he's like, yo ADE, Freddy's coming to town. That's not a direct quote, but I'm paraphrasing. But that exact vocal sample and everything is on this record. So like I said, they must have just used ADE's record as the instrumental because they actually use that portion and then the new vocals kick in. So yeah, that's it. Just a fun record I wanted to share with you guys. Gonna play some clips. See you guys next time. And again, stay safe out there. Stay 6 feet apart. Stay 7 feet apart. Don't mess around.
Yo, Ricky D, what's going on? What's going on?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you better call ADE.
Yeah.
Hello.
ADE.
Who is this?
It's your DJ, Eddie B. Man, there's this guy trying to take over.
Who?
I don't know his name. His name
Freddy's the name. Next time, get the name right. Freddy Krueger fresh off the screen, and I'm here around the house if you know what I mean. What about who I really came to see is this punk they call ADE. dun.